Hello and welcome back to Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. We are going to pick up right where we left off in a very difficult pattern that I have kind of been bashing my head against for a while. I've done a lot of takes of this, and just some of them, they would come out okay, but I'd make no progress. Some of them, they would come out really badly. And this is the second day of attempting to record this. And I just had a really good one where we made no progress, but we had I had good commentary. And so I was going to go with that, and I forgot to, forgot to doesn't even seem like the right word. Somehow I didn't press record. Or OBS somehow didn't recognize that I had pressed record. But I made no progress, and so we're going to continue trying to get through this pattern. And it's a really challenging pattern, and I've had to kind of rethink the way that I'm approaching this game. And there's so much against us, It's the slightly sloppy controls that I have complained about in the past, and just I have been kind of going through a rough time, just not feeling well, and having a hard time concentrating, and just, I have a lot of things stacked against me, and so it's been very difficult to read this pattern. And this is a pattern where reading is very important. Gaps open and close, and you kind of have to find your way to them as they are opening and closing. And so that's kind of what I've been struggling to do. But, it's an opportunity to reflect on what I want this series to be, and what I want to get out of this game. And one of the things that I talk about in game design a lot is this idea that I want the only reason I'm playing a game to be because I want the experience of playing it. And so I don't like artificial progression, which is a very popular design element where the character gets stronger instead of the player getting stronger, and just the more you play the game, the stronger your character gets. And I have a couple of different reasons to not like that, but a big part of it is I don't want to ever say I'm playing the game for any reason other than to play the game. I don't like saying, okay, we're going to play... we're going to do something that I don't like in this game because I want some part of the progression. And so days like today, when I'm really struggling to make any kind of progress in this game, it's really good to kind of remind myself that this is the experience that I enjoy. And one of the things that I really enjoy when I'm playing a very difficult game that's really throwing up a lot of challenges for me is I play this kind of emotional game of whether or not I make progress in the game, whether or not I complete the game. It's almost like there's this relationship where the game is trying to get a reaction from me. And if I don't give it that reaction, then I win. And it's a very strange sort of winning, but it's kind of a little sub game that I really like to play, and I think it's a big part of why I got interested in very difficult platformers and kind of games where you end up repeating the same thing over and over and trying to fit through a very small space. And so I can talk about how I haven't been feeling well, and how I am having a very difficult time reading these patterns and moving between them, but that even so, I'm getting an experience from this game that I enjoy. And it's very difficult to kind of get past this sense of duty, of like, well, there's an audience, and I have to make progress. If I'm going to make an episode, I want to make progress in the episode. And of course, what I really want to make with these episodes is I want to make something that is entertaining and that's interesting and that that talks about the subjects that come up on my channel all the time. And having a pattern that I just can't make progress against is actually something that is really well suited to what I want to do on this channel. Now, I hope that we don't get stuck here for like dozens and dozens of episodes, but I do want to, I want to take this opportunity to play the game in a different way and just see what we can do with that and just make a different kind of episode. So I don't really know, how am I going to handle it if I still can't make it past this pattern. I might have to put the series on hiatus. I might have to just keep doing, attempting to record episodes until I record one that sticks. Maybe next week I will be feeling better. And that's something that I can hope for. Oh, you know what I just thought of? Another thing I can do that I forget that I have this option is we can, wait for the next time that I make it through the first couple of patterns. Wait until we get, a little ways into it, and then we can use a bomb. And I haven't really been using bombs. I don't like to use bombs in shmups, but it's an option that we have that I had just not considered because of the way that I usually play shmups. And I know that the way that I need to play this one in particular is different from how I usually play them on my own. This kind of game, I really like this grind. I really like the meditative quality. A friend of mine, a streamer named GlitchCat7, has this quote that's originally from Tim Skelly that he really likes. But I don't remember the exact wording, but he talks about this parallel between gaming and Zen Buddhism. And he talks particularly about the stick that they use. If you feel like you're if you're drifting off, if you want, you show your shoulders, and there's a guy who walks around with a stick. And if you see someone showing their shoulders, like saying they want a little wake up, he hits them with the stick, and that gives them a little bit of a jolt. Jolts them out of the moment and back into the meditation. And, that's a very vague, very loose description of what's going on. I don't completely understand it, but basically Tim Skelly's idea was that when you die in a game, that's the little whack saying, come back to the moment. That's saying, stop letting your mind wander, stop drifting away. And there's a real meditative quality in games, especially a lot of the games that I most like to play to relax. And it's something that I have, for a really long time, really appreciated. And so when I'm playing games on my own, a lot of the time that's what I'm looking for. A lot of the time when I'm playing games by myself, that's the main thing that I want to get out of it. And so I was through there, and then I went a little too far. And so, that's how I usually play shmups, because I mostly play shmups for myself. But when I'm playing these for you, I want to take a little bit of a different approach, because I talked about, one of the things that I want to do is I want to make the narratives more accessible. And so I think maybe even bombing through this first pattern might be a wise choice. We have a lot of bombs. And that first pattern was actually causing most of the deaths. And so, maybe I can find my way through. And I don't know if we get our bombs back if we reset. That's something that I will have to watch. Okay, it's under the slash now. And we can keep bombing, we can keep doing this, see if we can make it through. Wow, that was a hard pattern. So, let's see if... Okay, it does go back up. So, we can keep trying at this. You know, maybe there's that wall that I always struggle with. So we can go through that real fast. And then that second pattern, I feel pretty confident about. So this first one, we can get through. And then the second one, we'll bomb. And then this third one and fourth one, we'll find our way through. Oh! Find our way through somehow. So first one, find our way through. Second one, bomb. Third one, find our way through. Fourth one, oh, not quite. So, you know, maybe we can try some other rhythms. Like, I'm finding my way through this one more easily. Now can we get through the second one? Kind of approach the second one more smartly. And avoid getting walled. And I don't know if it's worth it, so... You know, maybe the thing to do is to go through a lot of bombs to try and get past this one particular pattern that I'm having so much difficulty with. And we're getting to kind of the point in the episode where I usually like to wrap it up. And I feel like we've made conceptual progress, but not actual progress. And so, you know, I don't know... what we should do. And I just noticed the ring around the person that we're shooting at. And I'm wondering if we get that down... Alright, that's chapter finish, and I wasted a bomb there. Alright, so we are on to a new pattern. I think I am going to wrap it up really soon. But, oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a very different kind of pattern than I'm used to. So maybe we need to move. Maybe we need to... Okay. So I think we need to manipulate this one. And I think we need to do so in some interesting ways. And find our way through, and then... Okay, so it really seems like the speed I have to move at to get past that first one is going to force me into the middle of the second one, so maybe that's not what I want. Maybe the thing I want to do is to find this spiral path that goes through the middle of this pattern. But I think that's something that we're going to have to work on next week. So I'm really glad that we finally made it through. I know this was probably not as exciting of an episode, but that's, you know, sometimes that happens, and so I will just continue trying to make a better episode, continue trying to build my skill, and continue trying to take better care of my health. So that I can be a better entertainer, because that is really what I most want. And so, you know, health is so important to being a good entertainer, because you have to be so engaged. And we made it past another... we made it past another attack. That's really cool. So this is where I'm going to wrap it up. Next week we will be looking at yet another difficult pattern, and hopefully wrapping up this boss, though I can't make any promises. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.